Hello everybody, welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. This week I am going to answer the question, can you make a living as a therapist? I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So, good question. Can you make a living as a therapist? The answer is yes. Of course you can. The question is, what do you need to make a living? It depends what a living is. Yeah. It depends how much you want to make. Is it easy to make a full-time income as a therapist? I would say no, it isn't. It's not easy to be a full-time therapist and do nothing else. I'm certainly not a full-time therapist. Can you earn money? Of course you can. However, my advice is that especially if you're starting out, you have to have another job, and you do therapy as an extra, right? So the way that I set up my life was I was working already in what I would call working in my bliss, in a business I love. It's my own business I do with my wife. I love it. And then I started working in therapy, which is my bliss. I call it my hobby. I work in my hobby. They say if you work in your hobby, you never have to work again. It's true. So I work in my hobby, and then I've got my hobby, which is my therapy, okay, which I love. So that's always worked out for me. Two things happen when you do that. One is that you start getting an extra income. Right? If you've already got your income and you covered your bases and everything, what you get in therapy is like extra. It's nice, isn't it? So you get that. But the other thing is that you're not under pressure. And there's if you want to take the joy out of anything, just allow yourself to be under pressure. Right? I worked for 20 years under pressure. Well, the last 10 under pressure. It was horrible. Didn't matter how much I got paid. I didn't enjoy it. It was horrible. I liked my job, but I hated it because I was under pressure. And that's the same with therapy. What I sometimes see is people throwing themselves full time into therapy, but they haven't got the public, they haven't got the base, and they haven't got the flow of people. Right? I've been doing therapy for 15 years. I started off as a part-time thing, and it's still a part-time thing. But it's a lot more important now in terms of income than it was before. And I've got this lovely steady flow. How did I get that? How did I get this steady flow? I'm booked a month ahead. Okay? At one point I was booked 3 months ahead, and I was starting to get stressed. I didn't like that. Now I like that. Okay? And I only work principally 2 days a week that I do my therapy because I've got other things to do. If I have an emergency, I'll put other people in. But I work 2 days a week on therapy. And that's really nice. But that's taken me a long time to get that flow. How did I do it? Well, the way that you start off a therapy business is that you give away loads and loads of free content. We're in a world where content is everything, and free content is everywhere. And that's what you do. Because I believe that the way that the universe works is this: you put out and then it gives you back. Yeah, you put it out, it gives you it back. Don't try and start by just wanting it to come in, right? Because you'll sit there for a long time and nothing will happen, right? I'm not talking about if you go down the standard line of being a psychologist and all of that and working for a company, that's fine. That's different. I'm talking about being an awake, aware therapist working from home or working, for yourself. Okay, so put out lots of free content. Try and get as many people who have similar channels to talk to you. Get yourself out there. And I'm just telling you what happened to me. I didn't necessarily go out to talk to other people, but I did. I did talk to people, and people invited me onto the shows. And when that happened, then I noticed that my stream of clients started to increase. If you're very good at what you do, then you get word of mouth and other people recommend you, and that's super as well. So kind of like it can come in many different ways, but it isn't overnight. It takes time. It takes time, and you've got to have faith, and you've got to learn your craft. Okay? The best therapists, in my opinion, are the ones who've worked for a long time in therapy, not the ones who've studied something and that's it, they're off or ready to go. You need to embed the learning with some deeper understanding, working with people, understanding what people are like, making your mistakes, finding out, what can go wrong with these processes, how you overcome that, how you can change processes midway. So there's a lot to learn. So basically, you've got to be patient with yourself. Make sure you've got another income. Don't count on therapy as your only income. And maybe in the end, some people have these great ideas and, they write a book and suddenly they've made the money for the rest of their life. Super duper. But, there's a lot of us out there. And so the best way to deal with it is to look at your therapy as an additional income. Work your craft. Get yourself good at what you do. Give lots of free stuff first. Yeah, don't start asking people for money straight away. I just don't think that works very well. People expect free now before they pay. And what happens? It's a standard psychological system, which is if you give somebody something free, many of them, not all of them, feel obliged to give you something back. All right? That's the way that it works. And obviously the universe is behind that, and the universe works in that way. Okay? So that's how you start to build your business and make some money at it. And you can make extra money and excellent money as a therapist. Yeah? But it's a process and you need to work at it. Okay? So there you are. I hope that's helped, and I shall see you all next week. Bye-bye.